So I have a couple concerns. One is the longevity, and chip sealing is probably not something I would like to do. I mean, I'm familiar with it. Allen Point Road, chip sealing's been around for a while. Allen Point Road, when it was first done, when I was 5 years old, I went out and got my feet in the goo. My mother didn't care much for that, but my concern is two things. One is that we build a road that will last for a while, and the other is that we have the money to pay for it in the budget. So, I mean, I'm not one for spending money that we don't need to spend, but from what I've seen, chip sealing is a couple things wrong with it. It has no strength. It's just a seal. And the other is that it's noisy. The aggregate is fairly coarse, and so driving on it is noisy for all the neighbors there. But raising it 6 inches, now you have the issue with all the driveways. You have to deal with them. So did you figure that into the extra 90?
Correct. Yes. So a chip seal has to go on top of other mix. It doesn't just go over the top of the road.
Right, right. So the 6 inches that you would raise the road, and I think I agree with that. I'm building a good road that doesn't heave in the future. But now you've got 6 inches above all the driveways that you have to deal with.
One of the downsides, I've been reading on this stuff, one of the downsides is winter plowing. The plows are tough on the chip seal.
Chip seal's tough on the plows.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the stone is a hard aggregate. There's no fine material in it. It's a latex modified rubber that goes down first.
Yeah.
That's the sticky stuff he talks about walking in. That doesn't go away. I mean, it's a polymer glue. The rock sticks to it. We sweep off the excess now. 30, 40, 50 years ago, they didn't sweep the excess. They just let it go to the side of the road. That's one of the things. Chip seal's been around about 100 years now, 1930s when they started doing it. And it is, like I said, I've put roads out for people to go and see a comparison between a 1-inch overlay and a chip seal on the same road done the same year, and the chip seal will outperform the hot mix every time. So to say that it's hard on the plow's hard on it, that's a false statement. It is hard on the plow.
Yeah. It was some study out of Minnesota or someplace.
Yeah.
How many driveways are we talking? And how long of a stretch of road is this? I haven't looked.
The section 2 would be, I think,
900.
four driveways total, one side road.
That sounds right.
I think it's the two across from each other, one before and one after, and then one side road at the time.
I couldn't hear Ben. Did he come up with a price for his alternative against what it would cost to do chip sealing?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an extra $90,000.
$90,000 increase, right?
Yeah.
Chip sealing, from all I've read and the stuff that I passed forward, so you could bring yourself up to date, is basically perfect for Peabody Road. It's for low volume traffic, neighborhood area, no fast speed limits, 25 to, we're hoping it'll stay 25. And the snow plowing was a thing but it said just make sure you're talking with your people that plow that won't excessively hit over it, you know. So I think I'd like to see Hunter tell him just how that's put together when they put it on the road from the tire up.
So a road like Peabody, if there's ledge poking through like there is in section 2, just in front of that farmhouse, there's ledge poking through the road. Just by the apple trees, there's ledge protruding through the side of the road. And that second driveway on the farmhouse as well has ledge 6 or 8 inches higher than the road. So in a situation like that, we'd like to do a CMA, a cold mix asphalt is what we do for flexibility. And after that, we would put a double chip seal so to keep the cracks from coming back through. An alternative that they do in New Hampshire a lot with roads that have ledge in it, they would do the high liquid shim that cuts down the depth of what's there. Then we do a 2-inch layer of 12.5 on top of that, and then a double chip seal over that. The double chip seal is what keeps the cracks from coming through the layers. That's the latex modified polymer rubber. You put your 1/2-inch stone down first. They put another coat of the latex to fill in the voids, and then pack it in with 3/8 stone on top of that. For a cost to do a road like this, I mean, you really should have more than 6 inches of gravel if you plan on just sandwiching it in. If you dig it up and prep it correctly, 6 inches of gravel would be enough, but I do not feel that 6 inches is enough to go over existing and then put more mix on top.
Couple things I'd like to add on this. So, Ben, if you could back out so we can see the whole road again. So, right now on this section, on this road, so the blue section, that section has already been reclaimed. It hasn't been repaved. And Ron, I think you could weigh in terms of when that was done. That reclaiming work was done there.
So it wasn't replaned, there was wrap put on top of existing materials.
Oh, the first part of the road?
Yeah, he dug that out. He's talking, if you come up a ways, the first 450 feet roughly was dug out.
Yes.
On the
And
north
then
end.
if you continue up the road a little ways, that's just wrap put on top of broken up pavement.
Okay, so Ben, on our plans, we were proposing to basically regrade and repave that whole section, that whole blue section. Is that correct?
Right.
So now we've got this middle section, which again, as Ben explained, we were originally saying to reclaim, but with the bedrock information, understand that that's not necessarily the best option there. And then the green section, headed down to the other end of the road, we were proposing to reclaim that section. We're not against the chip seal, as I think Ron mentioned and Hunter probably mentioned this. It is the type of road that would work well with a chip seal. If the town wants to go with a chip seal, I wouldn't necessarily just chip seal the middle red section. I would chip seal the green section as well and not reclaim that section. And just go with, because we've already got, in this, what you see up in front of you right now, you've got a repave on the right side, you've got a chip seal or a raise and repave in the middle, and then you've got reclaim on the green section on the left side, which to me is a lot of different options for a little short section of road. So whichever way we go, I would recommend if we go with chip seal in the middle, we should probably go with chip seal on the green section as well. And we can reclaim that green section if we want to. It just feels like a lot of different alternatives, and there may be a potential for some savings if we chip sealed everything from the red and the green and repaved the blue. There is some other work that's also associated with this project that's beyond the chip sealing or the paving work. So we do have some ditching work that is happening on various sections of this road. We've got some culvert work and things like that as well. So it's not just the paving piece. But I think, to me, the goal of this meeting from our perspective, from Goral Palmer's perspective, is just to make sure that the town understands the differences between the chip seal and kind of the additional gravel and repaving. I don't disagree that 6 inches is not the ideal thickness of gravel that we would put down here. I think anything's better than pavement right over bedrock. And it would give the town the option in the future, when this has to happen again, many years down the road, that you could potentially reclaim that and improve your base even further as you move forward there. The pavement condition in the red and the green is not good, and that's why we can't just shim and overlay that. And in my opinion, the chip seal itself, the latex material and the double chip seal option certainly helps in terms of minimizing those cracks reflecting up through the material. But it doesn't do anything in terms of improving the drainage underneath that layer of asphalt, especially in the red section. Because that existing asphalt is so close to the existing bedrock.
Which is why it's cracked. Which is why it has cracks in it now.
It's one of the reasons why there are cracks in there.
What I'm thinking about right now is, and I'll ask Hunter, was on our first conversation about this, seems like, Hunter's the one that brought it up to me. I thought we were in rough shape because knowing all the ledge that was involved in that road, and on the north end of it, as you go down that hill toward the end, it's pretty much all ledge underneath there. And he said, it would be smart to use a new product that we're getting pretty familiar with. I guess they've done a lot of it. Gave me some roads to go out and look at, and I went out and looked at them. And some of them have been in place for 6 years or better, and they love it. They haven't had a problem with it. And this would take right from 123 on the south end all the way back to the north end, right, Hunter? Right from one end.
CMA would be able to go over everything that's existing right
Yep.
there.
We tack it first, right?
Yep.
Tack it, reclaim it, and then put the chip seal on the final coat, and then what, another year, come back and hit it one more time?
Nope, so you put your CMA down when it's warm, and that's the flexible surface that goes between
Yeah.
two, we put that in 2 lifts. That keeps the cracks from coming through, and then after Labby would be done with the drainage and the ditching, we'd come back in to do the final coat of a double chip seal.
Oh, 2 times right there?
Right the same day.
Yeah,
They'd do
yeah.
one, and they'd set back and do another one.
Yeah, and according to the write-ups I've seen, is the savings is what's really impressive about that.
Yeah, and same with the CMA. If the town owns their own sand or gravel, it's a lot less expensive.
Yeah.
But, I know that everyone's put a lot of time into this. Have you gone to that blue section personally, Will?
I've walked the portions of that section. I think we walked the whole thing when I first went out there with Ron.
And you think that you could grade from the state road all the way up to that point? You're gonna be grading alligator cracked hot mix. It's not reclaimed at any point. You can make it 400 feet from the intersection, and you show it coming all the way to Jordan Point Road, I believe, is roughly where that is. There's nothing there to grade. It's old hot mix.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that can be graded is the end that I fixed.
Yeah.
And that's
400
just
feet
because
worth.
it was so bad.
Oh, on the north end there.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Copenhagen's.
So
That was a
no offense
Band-Aid.
to anyone, but once again, we get a plan that realistically, you can't grade hot mix that's broken all up. What's there to grade?
Yeah, I'd have to review that section again. I believe you if that's what it is. Ben, I don't know if you have anything to add on that, but
Yeah, I must have misinterpreted what we talked about when we were out there. I had thought that was all reclaimed, or
No,
additional wrap was put on top of that.
To fill in potholes. There's hot mix below it.
So what are we talking now?
So would you be proposing chip seal on that section too then?
I think the best option for this road is a cold mix that's flexible to move with the ledge. We do multiple lifts, we do 2 lifts of CMA. I suggested it to Ben, I've given roads that they can go and look at. I mean, you can see the condition of roads that we have for next year's CMA that has ledge poking right through it. In the 9 years we've done this in the state, we've had one road that shouldn't have had it on it, and it's because there's a heavy trucking and logging company on it. But it will hold up for the 35 cars a day that this road receives.
Some of them are looking at like 19 years, I think, if I remember right.
19 years out and you still can't see the latex modified rubber underneath it.
Yeah.
So lay it out what you have in mind, Hunter, from
I
north
just
end
think
to
that
south
they should
end.
wait until next year. You do 2 lifts of CMA, Labby comes in, they do all their drainage and ditch work, and when they're done, we put a layer of double chip seal right over the top, and if they wanted something stronger than that, we could do a crumb rubber or an AR20 premium chip seal, or we could do a heat and treat stone, and then put it down. There's multiple options, but grading and repaving is not an option for the blue section. Unless you want to pay the damage to the reclaimer, because it is a sub, he's already said, we've walked through the whole project, there's too much ledge in that road.
Right.
Yeah. It's extremely costful when they break them chips, it grinds it.
Yeah, so how would you pull up the old pavement other than the reclaim machine?
Well, we, in that road, we wouldn't.
Just go, yeah, peel it up,
They'll put a liquid sealer on it first.
yeah.
Then they'll put 2 coats of reclaim,
CMA, cold mix.
CMA,
that's what.
yeah.
okay? And then the top layer would be the chip seal. Chip seal only comes in on the top layer. That gives you something for wear.
In all of this talk, has there been any discussion of the speed pillows?
Is what?
Which you initially talked about, you know,
Speed tables.
speed issues,
Yeah,
the
so
speed
we
table.
put in quite a few speed tables. The only place that we haven't taken them out is the city of Augusta. They have enough people to go out and shovel around them, but a plow is set up at an angle, and
That
a
does-
speed table is set up straight. I mean, it leaves a triangle on either side when you're plowing. So I had just said the best option for something like this is to put in the small rubber speed bumps.
Yeah.
I mean, we ground them out of the school in Winthrop and put the rubber speed bumps in because they couldn't plow it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
But we just need to address it. That runs parallel to 123, and the history of it is that when there's slow traffic, people will pass by going down 100 miles an hour down Peabody Road to get in front of the traffic. So it's
I
Three of
heard
us
that
here
a
have
couple
done that.
times. and
done it
I have a company vehicle, I don't think I'd try and.
Back when a lot of that happened, it was when there was only 1 or 2 houses on that road.
Yeah.
There was a Matthews house, the Peabody house, that was it.
And we've
There was
got
no
mine old hat.
Copenhagen and nobody else.
Well,
I know, because I went down through there myself.
Oh, yeah.
all right,
It's been there.
go back on track.
So it looked like the opportune road to try it on. That's what it looked like when I saw it. 'Cause the cost, well, Ben Hunter thought right off, he did some math there. He said it would save like $170,000 just to switch that program, to go to that. And that would, our budget would be pretty good next year with that cut back.
Well, as I said in the beginning, my concern is that we build a road that lasts and it's within budget.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my concern.
If we get 19 years out of it, you and I aren't going to care.
I won't care.
And this started way back in New Zealand when they started doing this stuff, and it's been very effective.
I figured just by the level of oxidation in the mix that's there, it's been 40 years since it's been paid at least.
Yeah, I bet, yes. Yeah.
I don't know if the town has a record of the last time that it's done. That's why I suggested the high liquid shim first to get some of the liquid back into existing.
And my only question would be, I guess,
Oh, good.
is making sure we got a good slope from the middle to the sides. And cost-wise, would it change a lot if we would add maybe a thicker base, like that in 2 layers, if they were just a little thicker? Would that help at all?
Well, everything adds cost. I mean,
Yeah, right. But I mean, it would still be, I've already, like I said earlier, I've already been through one of these projects like this. And on one of the first jobs I ever did on the road, 15 years ago. And they wanted to chip a whole ledge out all the way up through. And we didn't, I said, they gotta take out 14 inches. I says, why don't you put in 14 inches of gravel? Because it's just a short road, lane road over off Lowell's Cove. And I said, the lawns are 2 feet higher than the road. So we can easily bring in a few loads of gravel, break it out, and they paved it. They said, as long as I approved it, I said, I'll approve it. I don't care, I want to save money.
So, I guess right now, Hunter, if you come up with a proposal of everything you've said today, take a look at it, well, Girl
put it
Farmer
all
looks
together
at it.
with dollars, amounts.
Yeah,
And would that change the slope? I mean, Ben put together a plan already with all of the drainage and the ditching.
Yeah.
Is that good to give Labby to get their portion of the pricing?
ask Will, Ben,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And,
So the plans that we have already, he can start working on for pricing.
let me send you the latest.
And do we need engineered stamp plans, and will Goral Palmer be doing that?
Stamp the drainage plans.
You have somebody that does it? Yeah.
Because I think if we spend over,
Yeah.
do you recall what, is it over 150,000, we need an engineered stamp plan, I believe? Do you have,
For
What dictates
Huh?
that, Christie?
For what?
for the project?
I mean, you'd be the only town I deal with that would have to have an engineered stamp plan over 150 grand.
Do you recall what that is, off the top of your head, Will? I don't know, maybe it's for a building and not for roads, but there's something.
I got a $1.3 million contract with the town of Monmouth and no engineered plans, so.
Yeah, I don't know, but we have engineered plans for most of our
Yeah.
major capital projects, including our HVAC system,
Town policy.
roads. When we've put them out to bid, they've been engineered plans, so I don't know if you're approaching this differently.
No, I mean, this is the third set we've seen so far, so I mean.
Yeah.
it'd be-
I'll look into something on that, Christie, and get back to you, but I'm not sure that's the case, but.
Okay. But
But
you,
we would stamp the drainage plans. I'm not taking ownership of the chip seal.
But you would do that?
Yeah, we warranty the work. I mean, I know it's a liability issue for an engineer, they just wanna redo everything right from scratch, but as a contractor, I'd like to save as much money for the town as possible and not just throw money at something that only has 35 cars a day.
All right. So the plans are good for Labby then?
Yeah, he said he's gonna send it.
Yep. And you'll put together the numbers for the road, the specifications and all that?
Yeah, and I have a third party out of Massachusetts that does the testing for the rubber itself, and then we hire a third party that does the testing on the materials for the CMA out of New Hampshire.
Hunter, question for you on the driveways, paved driveways, and just tying driveways back in. How thick is this photo layer, the
Oh, yeah.
CMA, the everything, the chip seal, and how will you be tying driveways or proposing to tie driveways back in?
Yeah, so usually we do 1 3/4 and 1 3/4, and then the chip seal that goes on the top, if it was a double, is usually about 13/16 of an inch is what we figure for the 1/2 inch and the 3/8 together. And then chip seal usually doesn't go into the driveways, we just do the main line and do hand work for hot mix 9.5 on all driveways.
Would that be
And
required?
can you remind me on Basin Point, did we grind and blend in the driveways, or did we just
We ground the main line and then we ground a joint inside of the driveways and did the surface lift.
So you do the same thing here.
Yep.
Would it make a big difference to entrances, do the entrances with just hot reclaim?
Well, we do you could, all the dirt driveways, we
Because I mean,
would
it
put.
match their driveway.
There's only a few paved driveways on the whole road, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure, I'm not even, yeah, there is like one,
One or
at the
two.
very beginning. Oh, I think the one we gotta do the culvert on too.
And the farmhouse has got a paved lip that goes up in ways.
Yeah,
Halprin's house has pavement.
Helping, right. Helping's the last one out on the right.
All right,
Yeah, just one question, Hunter, did you say the project's likely to happen in the spring? The way?
I mean, at
I
this
mean-
point in time,
Yeah,
we could put hot mix down
well, I don't know if we're
Until-
gonna have enough money for everything, we haven't seen the final cost.
yet. I mean, we do hot mix on base down to 40 degrees. CMA, we like to be warmer,
Yeah.
65 or 70. It's something we usually do June, July, August, and half of September.
Okay,
Sometimes we do it in May if weather permitting, but everything's gonna dry out first. We put it down in the opportune time to give it its best chance to cure. It's not the same as a hot mix process, so it takes time to cure.
so you wouldn't recommend doing it
Not
this
right
fall?
now,
Yeah, I thought that's what you said earlier. but-
Yeah, so when we had said before with the high liquid shim and then 2 lifts of hot mix, yes, we could do the high liquid shim in the first leveling shim course. And then Labby would come in and bring everything up to that level. And then we would come and put our surface coat on after.
But you don't see it as a phased project, it could all be done next year?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'd like to ask one other question though, because right now I've only got one bid that's gonna do the tree removal. And I'm just wondering how we're gonna handle that.
Yeah, that's a pretty insignificant,
Well,
part of
that's
the
when the
project.
ditching has to be first.
I know, but I think that we can, you're talking $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this project is gonna be a lot more than that, we can figure that out.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I just wanna make sure if I tell the guy, go ahead and do it. And
Yeah.
then you say, oh, no, wait a minute, we're
But
not gonna do
it's-
the job until
But
next year.
yeah, I
I
know.
think you're already down 2 trees. I just rode through there.
Oh,
when the
really?
big
They came
rock
down on their
maples
own?
Came down.
They come down on their own?
Yeah.
I had a feeling they were gonna.
One came down on its own. Looked like the other one might have snapped part of it out
And that would be nice to get them all out of the way
before plowing.
before winter.
Yeah.
Could, and he was scheduled for the 1st of October.
Oh,
But
so
I
he's
told
ready.
him after Thursday this week, I would let him know so that he would.
Sounds
know
like
he
a
could do
dentist
it.
office.
I just wanna make sure he
Yeah,
gets
but
paid.
we didn't get the workers' comp insurance.
You
piece,
should have,
so
no?
I don't know, I don't, we're still working on the thing. I feel like that's a minor
He
part, and
sent an
we'll
email
make sure.
supposedly, I was after him and
We
I,
have, we have general liability, but not the workers' comp, that's one we're still looking at.
oh, that's the one you want?
Yeah,
we can work that out later.
yeah, we can work that out.
Right, because he's ready to go, I think, but I want to make sure
Yep.
before I say go,
All right,
that he's going to get paid.
Yeah, I think we need to.
anything else there, Will or Ben, or? You good?
Okay,
If we,
Thank you.
if we didn't have to do Little Island Road, it'd be a different conversation.
we haven't even, Will is here, we haven't even started the conversation about Ocean Street. That'll be another day.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, don't get started.
Oh
I'll
my
tell you what to
gosh.
do with it, leave it alone. I already looked at it,
Can't
leave it
wait.
alone.
That's gonna be
I
a
can't wait.
brain teaser, that one.
All right.
Got the
very
next
good.
generation of
think we're
pavers
good.
coming along here.
Yeah, right.
Hunter's gonna, you gonna put the proposal together for us?
I will.
Get it to us? Great.
Yeah, actually, a guy named Sam Grande will most likely be working on the CMA. I do hot mix side of things, but I would, like I told Ron, I would work with Sam on this project just to make sure that's what we've always done in Harpswell.
Yep.
Hunter, do you have any specifications for the CMA product?
I can send that over to you, or actually to Ben. It'll probably come from a gentleman named Bruce Davis.
Okay,
That's New Hampshire bituminous.
Bituminous.
okay, thank you.
All right. We all set?
The one?
I am.
In that case, I believe our workshop is over.
Well, me.